Welcome to my video series where I plan on breaking down every moment in Berserk because yes, there's something wrong with me. And I want to share my takes on every scene. Also, I renamed this series to be titled Berserk Deep Dive, as it would drive me insane if all the titles have the same name and just changing the number to part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. So for those who watched the first part of this series, thank you for all your kind comments. So let's get back to the video. So that first video I made was somewhat depressing. So for the second part of this series, I want to analyze a more uplifting moment in Berserk, but also not. The moment I'm talking about is found in chapter 290. I'm talking about this page specifically. Guts sitting down. Yes, there's something to analyze here. Now many probably know this, but this page is a callback of sorts to a somewhat iconic Guts page of him sitting down similar in the Golden Age arc, chapter 16. But what makes this interesting is how Miura really is a master of using art to convey so much without the use of dialogue. And these two pages of Guts sitting down, there's something to break down in here. So I'm gonna start with Golden Age Guts. Something I find interesting about this scene is that Judo made an interesting comment on Guts sitting there, and I quote, "You must really like high places." Now this symbolizes two things. The first being that in the real world, high places pretty much symbolize a sense of achievement. For example, mountain climbers. Once they reach the very top, it's such an amazing feeling, a big sense of achievement. And guess what? Guts has no aspirations in life. He was just going to battlefield, not learning anything and not even trying to learn. He was aimless. Guts even says it himself. Him defeating 100 enemies is nothing compared to what everyone else is doing in the Band of the Hawk. So him sitting in high places was Guts subconsciously wanting to just go somewhere high to get a sense of what everyone else feels. That sense of achievement, a place in the world. And as for the second thing it symbolizes, is him drawing a line towards others, not wanting to be close to anyone, as shown in the next page with Guts from way high up looking for a second at the Band of the Hawk and then looks away while thinking about them, showing there's a line that's being drawn. He doesn't want to get close as he's afraid of being hurt again. Now let's look at future Guts in chapter 290, sitting in a similar position. And what is Miura telling us with this newer version? As notice how the Golden Age Guts page is a double spread with just him alone, and also notice how he has his sword, while in the newer one he doesn't carry a sword anymore to relax. And upon further inspection, you notice in this page is that unlike young Guts, the first thing Guts is looking at is his bonds. Shirk. Unlike young Guts, he isn't afraid of connection, as shown with him not sitting in a higher place, higher than everyone else, but rather in the same level, showing he's not drawing a line like he used to. He now truly accepts his bonds, and he isn't aimless as like he used to be. He now has a destination. I mean, they are on a boat. But there is something else I took from Guts setting similar to his younger version. As you can see, Guts isn't smiling in this page. In fact, you can say his expression is somewhat nervous, worried, and it makes sense when you look at all the context building up to this scene. Previous chapters, Guts couldn't save Casca and realizes even if you force back what was lost, it won't be the same anymore. And then in this very same chapter, he had a nightmare with the Beast of Darkness, warning him and telling him to make his bond with all his friends stronger, as it would just make him stronger once those bonds are shattered. But Gus doesn't remember this dream when he wakes up, but he still can tell there's something wrong, a feeling. Guts setting very similar to his younger self, while it is meant to depict Guts that he truly has learned and grown, but also it's meant to show and foreshadow Guts' future if things repeat. Guts is uncertain and worried, so he goes back to an old habit of his that was forgotten in the past. And this is what this page is. He's afraid of this pending unease that's been building up, hence there's no smile. Also, something cool that I'm pretty sure was done on purpose is that Crescent Moon. Now Miura easily could have left that out, but he drew it there specifically. And guess what? The Crescent Moon symbolizes and is connected to Shiva himself. And guess what happens a couple chapters later? Ganeshka turns into this gigantic creature that is called Shiva himself. And the Crescent Moon symbolizes things like creation and destruction and new beginnings. So Miura drawing the Crescent Moon next to Guts is foreshadowing the next couple of chapters, but also it's meant to show the paths Guts could take. He could either take the path of destruction, as shown with the Beast of Darkness warning him in this chapter that when he loses those bonds, he will go on a rampage, Or he could take a new path, creation, like after the Golden Age arc. He was on a path of destruction for a while, but eventually created new bonds, leading him down a healthier path. And my god, I love Miura for little details like that, as Miura has mentioned in interviews before that the one thing he relies on the most is his art during emotional moments to convey so much. So this ends part 2 of this Berserk deep dive series I'm making. I hope people that subscribe for my Berserk content are enjoying this, as I'm having fun making these videos, and also makes it easier for me to consistently upload Berserk videos due to these being shorter. So look forward to part 3 soon.